All right, people, we need your support. This channel exists because you believe in our stories. We're not funded by corporations. We're not bought by special interests. We're independent for the people, by the people. And we're here to speak the truth of our communities across the country. Every story we bring to you about injustices, about our culture, about what's really going on in our neighborhood is powered by us, and hopefully now by you. We're asking every single viewer who values what we're doing here to help us stay independent. If just a few of you donate $2 to $5, it'll make a huge difference. Yeah, I'm sure gave some questions that it's easy. You can send support through Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Your donation doesn't just keep the lights on; it keeps our voices strong. We're not just another YouTube channel. We're your news. We're your platform. We're your movement. So if you rock with us, if you believe in independent Latino media, drop $2, $3, or $5 today. Thank you so much for watching, supporting, and standing with us. We're just getting started. Let's grow together. All right, Chris. I'm not gonna believe you until I see somebody in the comment section over there, bro. Because right now I think we're not even live yet, bro. Because Chris is fucking. I want to see. I want to see Chris. I want to see the comment section, man. Before I even start my intro, damn it. So how you been, Bruno?
Good. We're on.
Well, allegedly, bro. I don't believe it until I see a chat. The people are probably still stuck over there. There we go. OG smoker. That's the OG fool that stole my Alpine back in '88. Fool.
Saying the music again, but is that the other?
No, he's laughing. He's laughing. There. What's up, Bear? ¿Cómo estás, güey? Yeah, Chris at Shadego. He's trying to get me struck out, bro. He's trying to keep me down right now. All right, so we had a scheduled show today. This is usually Thursdays, the Gill and Chris show, or the Chris and Gill show, depending on what day of the week, and we flip a coin whose name goes first. But today it is the Bruno, Gill, and Chris show. Man, give me some whoop over there, Chris. So let's put up that feed. We had already scheduled this, Bruno and I, for us to discuss immigration and all that's going on. And lo and behold, right now you got that going on. Shout out to IRT Media. He's on YouTube. He gives you all kind of independent feed, and I do pay the guy. I will send him a donation today every time I use his stuff. But you see what's going on, fool?
It's crazy, right? The way that they're just going off, and if you listen to the people, they're saying it's unprovoked. They're just standing there, and they said they just start going off on them. They're hitting them with the bombs, hitting them with the smoke, with the non-lethal that's causing people's piercing skin. It's crazy.
Yeah, right now, from what it seems that there's just kind of a standoff type thing going on. You could actually maybe flip it and make theirs bigger and put us in the corner, Chris. I think that'll probably be a better look. Thank you, Chris. Is that my neighbor from Cedar and Burbank? Saludos, compa. What up? You're the man. That is your neighbor, homie. I don't know if you're Eric.
No, I did live on Cedar.
That's Eric, bro. That's
funny.
Gloria's brother right there.
What's going on, Eric? And what's up, Prove? USC NHG shout out. And those are Matt's crews, right?
Yeah. Matt's got all the boys over here, bro. But let's get this other video. Yeah, dude, look at that, bro. Look at that. You can even cut the sides of us a little bit, Chris, right? Make the bodies bigger. Just so okay. So this is insane. Wait, no chingues. This is like some straight out of movie stuff that we're going through right now as people. I mean,
I texted you a couple of videos yesterday. It's just escalating more and more, and you have to ask yourself, how long do you think it's going to be before somebody smokes one of these ice suits?
Well, it could have been today. There's a video going viral already of this. You could tell it's a young kid. Maybe I'll try to find it right now. And he's doing this, bro. Hey, he's going like this. You can see it, and he's having a hard time, and he's trying to cock it. And maybe he's got the safety on. Maybe he doesn't really know how to use a weapon. Yeah. But actually, it's lucky for everybody, especially not even the ICE agents, for the regular people that the gun didn't go off. And let me tell you why. There's a whole crowd of people running towards them, and this guy's just kind of like, he would have shot somebody who's part of the protest.
So that's the question. Well, they went to MacArthur Park, Monday morning?
Yeah.
What did they go on a Friday night, Saturday night?
MacArthur, I believe they went there just to do a test, bro. I don't think it had anything to do with arresting anybody, because they had plenty of people. What they're doing is they're doing exercises, like actual exercises. Say, okay, guys, this is our exercise. We have this huge park. You got to act like there's all kind of combatants or whatever. I'm sure there's a phrase they call people like us, or people, immigrants or illegals. There's this, there's that. We have to come in there in waves and get the horses, get these other guys. It was a drill, bro. They're doing drills in Los Angeles. I mean, straight military drills.
Well, listen to Mayor Bass. I think that might be the only thing she's really right on right now. She's saying that we're just a test. They're just seeing how far they can take it.
No, for sure it's a test. But to me, if I'm the mayor, I would sit there and tell my officers not to get involved, like, because right now the officers they're being the bouncers for them, bro. It's like the ICE is at the club and they're out there holding people out. Like, no, if you really aren't choosing a side, let it be. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have these people go there. You're gonna make it more difficult for these guys to go in there and just nilly-willy take people, bro. Because right now they're saying everybody has a warrant. Everybody has a warrant, and no, that's just bullshit. What they're using is we have a warrant that's for no certain name. Is just for anybody, bro.
I don't know if you noticed the video I sent yesterday in the Bay Area. Those people, they're like down here professionals. They're ready. Their eyes covered, everything covered up. They're like militant about it. But if you notice that one of those ladies got dragged by one of the ICE cars as they were taking off.
Yeah, bro.
So how long is it going to be before they're dragging somebody, something like that has to happen, and they claim almost self-defense, try to say, oh yeah, I had to protect myself, so we did fill in the blank, and it goes too far.
Well, I believe it's already gone too far, but yeah, people are gonna start losing their lives, bro.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way around it. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, what society, what world, what country, what time of year, what in the whole spectrum of us being here in the world, right? Anytime somebody keeps oppressing, putting the army, putting this, people are gonna fight back, bro. Because right now, this isn't no regular immigration stuff. This is military conduct going on. It's crazy.
Well, when we originally scheduled the conversation, it was just kind of along those lines to say, look, this is inevitable. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. Something serious is going to happen with the big bill, the money that's been allocated to ICE. It's going to triple their budget. You can only start to imagine. I think, Chris, we're getting ready to start to talk about just how much money is going to where. And if you just put two and two together, again, it's inevitable that things escalate, and when they escalate, they're going to have more than enough resources to do whatever they want.
Right. So let me read a comment from Dumb Supreme right there. Dumb Supreme says, "But y'all Latinos voted for this. Y'all went against your own people." So what have you guys voted for yourselves that's good, bro? Please tell me, man. The ghetto is still the ghetto. The hood is still the hood. You fools are still killing one another. So don't miss me with that, y'all. No, who voted for Trompito? We voted for tough immigration. We voted for closed borders. We didn't vote for this, bro. Not at all. That's like me saying, like when I got Nathan Hochman in here, the district attorney, and I want tougher laws, and then all of a sudden they're knocking down everybody, homies' doors, everything, and I'm like, I didn't vote for that.
Yeah.
I voted for you guys to be, a little more, have a little more structure so people don't do what they're doing. What they're doing here, no, that's absolutely wrong, dude. So here's your answer, Dumb Supreme.
And my question to Black is Supreme is I think you bring it up all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need my glasses. Right there, I said Dumb Supreme, bro. My bad, homeboy.
Where you start to say, okay, so the vote went however it went, right? Whatever percent, whatever you want to say, but to continue to instigate and to continue to go with that, there's a lot of Black people that are supporting it. There's more and more people are starting to see that, especially on the East Coast, where they're starting to go after Haitians more and more.
Right.
Where you start to see eventually how it'll trickle down. And in the conversation, when you have X amount of open beds and you have X amount of resources, and you have to fill X amount of different things, they're going to end up sweating us, arresting us for one thing or another. Over-policing is over-policing.
Yes.
When they come in, they catch you, look for any excuse to arrest you. Guess what? Black and brown go hand in hand. And you think they're not going to start getting caught up?
Oh, yeah.
To your point, if the ICE is there for the immigrants, the police, the bouncers that are there in that city, guess who they're going to get? The brother that's there doing whatever, fill in the blank, just caught up catching strays. So to sit there and to continue to instigate.
Shout out to Black Supreme.
to continue to instigate that is just wrong, because again, at the end of the day, if I didn't vote for Trump, obviously.
What?
But
What?
and I know Chris didn't vote for Trump.
This is news for me, Chris.
But to continue to say that is just wrong.
Hey, Chris. So you as our brother in here, when you see stuff like this, does it make you feel in a certain way? Do you really not get, like, honesty, your honest opinion when you see like what's going on right here in Camarillo?
I think that things are getting a little out of hand, and there needs to be something done about how extreme. I actually honestly think that he's doing all of this like intentionally to get people riled up. He wants aggression. He wants that news clip like all over news feeds in South America to discourage people from coming. That whole alligator, Alcatraz, all this stuff to me is just scare tactics to prevent people from coming.
But it's more than just scare tactics. I mean, these guys are literally going in like this place. They went out there and you saw the whole line of people they're taking out of there. I mean, so like the part about this, yeah, I do agree with you. It's a great show. It's a great feat. It is deterring people from coming here, because right now people, I guarantee you the numbers are so low of coming in. Who wants to?
Oh yeah, right now nobody wants to come. I would imagine. And that's the thing, is they know that they can't secure the border 100% because there's just so much land. So, using scare tactics and these kind of things are going to help with that.
Black Supreme, I think you're misunderstanding what we're saying. We're not saying that they're going to deport you. We're saying that you get caught up just in the mix when there's over policing and there's a bunch of civil unrest and they start to come out with different laws. I think we had talked about it in the past, dating back to the old Nixon days.
Right.
When they said, what do we do with the administration at that time? Their big enemies were the anti-war liberals and the blacks. So they came out afterwards and they said, we couldn't make it illegal to be black or to be anti-war. So we ended up putting, making blacks synonymous with heroin, and we made the anti-war liberals synonymous with marijuana. So then we over-criminalized those two things, and we started figuring out those are ways that we were able to start rating them.
Right.
We were able to start saying, oh, this is villainizing them to a point where the whole mass incarceration, that iteration of mass incarceration.
Well, that's what I see coming after this. After this, listen, they're feeding the prison machine, right? And after, let's say we go through 2 years of this and they start getting rid of all kind of people, they got to fill up those jails, bro. Like, hey, I need some more bodies over here.
1,000,000%. So when you start talking, and again, so you just have to look at the same playbook that they played over and over and over again. So I know we always talked about the Biden with the super predator stuff. Before that, the war on drugs.
Right.
And there's been different versions of it. The Nancy Reagan version of it, the Nixon version of it. So again, it's always that they're looking for whatever demographic they choose to go after, and they over-criminalize it. They'll put it on the media left and right over and over. They'll constantly tell you. And I think I was having a conversation with a friend that was telling me, why all of a sudden this whole Venezuelan Tren de Agua thing.
Oh yeah, the new boogeyman.
Yeah. So you don't even hear 18. Now 18, their stock has gone down.
Their rank has gone down. Right now it's between MS-13 and somebody said, say it right, Tren de Agua. I don't know what it is. Let me look it up, bro. Let me look it up.
So the Venezuelan thing that's coming with it. So again, to your point, so they'll start to tell you something over and over and over again, and so until you normalize it. So when you see stuff like this, again, how many Venezuelans do you think are out there working in the fields in Camarillo?
Oh, like people who illegals, you're saying?
Yeah, not how many illegal Venezuelans.
Oh, no, the Venezuelans ain't working over there, bro. That's all pretty much Mexican and Central American. I would say it's very few, like 2%, if that, but it's not so much of what's going on, and it's all Tren de Aragua.
De Aragua.
De Aragua, that's what they told me, bro.
The new boogeyman.
Yeah, well, think about it. Al-Qaeda, careful, Al-Qaeda's gonna blow you up. ISIS is gonna blow you up this week. It's some Filipino, Cambodian, Muslim group is gonna blow it. Like they have to find a boogeyman. You know why? Because right now this actually works perfect in their favor if it starts getting out of hand. Because all of a sudden, Epstein, Who's Epstein? Who the hell wants to talk about Epstein?
Yeah.
Why would we talk? That's what this is doing right now. Right now is a play. Hey guys, we need something new in the headlines. We got to get Epstein out of the line, bro. But to most people on the right, I don't know. I think they're still talking about Epstein, bro, because that was a big hit. Like, wait a minute, fool, you ran on this. But I think that's a good reason for them to do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, bro. Do you think? I mean, something like this, I don't know if it really will do much. I mean, I think it kind of plays into their books, because think about it. What's going to happen? You're going to have people there. They're going to scream at them. They're going to do this like this. Wait. Those cars should not be able to drive. I don't care. Like, this is the line. Let's see if they hold the line, bro.
But so that's what you're seeing more and more, the people that are holding the line getting dragged.
Yeah, but they like to be. Nah, let's see. Oh, that's when they got to get out the way. They're fighting. Cause he's a what is it? Fire department. See, hold the line, brother. Let's see. And that's the problem with them. There's no Jorge Lujan Sr. What's up, my man? To our super chat, appreciate that.
And to Truth Media, I think the only reason we're responding to that is again, at some point, and again, not that Black Supreme represents all Black voices or Black opinion, but at some point, we do have to start to address how we're going to move forward and what we're doing to figure out things on a bigger scale, where it's not so much, oh, that doesn't affect me, that's not us. If you look at when you talk about our people, I think we've talked about this. When you see what happened in Palestine and you're seeing children get murdered in Palestine, even though we know that the Palestinians, the Hamas hates us, even though we know we couldn't even go there to help if we wanted to, we could still stand up and say, hey, that's wrong. These people are getting slaughtered.
Oh, for sure.
So when you start talking about empathy for anybody that's going through suffering, if you remember when the Ukraine war started, I went out, my wife and I, we went to Ukraine to try to help the people, the refugees that were fleeing for the war, because they were all women and children. So we weren't there to support Ukraine because we necessarily agree with Ukraine's stance or anti-Russia, but we were there to say, look, these people are going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives. Most of these people are never going to see their fathers, their brothers, their sons again. So my wife is a nurse, so to go to the border, to go to Ukraine and to help these people as they came across, as they needed food, as they were carrying whatever they could just carry on their back, it was like, why, whatever you have in your box, and that's it. So to see that, we are there just to try to see what we could do to show that the world cares. And when we went, you'd be amazed how many countries were there helping these people out. So it's not about if it affects us or not. Obviously, the Ukraine-Russia thing, directly, indirectly, it's about people that are suffering when right is right and wrong is wrong, to stop and say, you know what, it's not right. Yeah, for sure. And this, what's going on? No, it's not right, bro. Come on. This is a broken campaign promise. I mean, in my opinion, that's their feet going slow. In my opinion, I thought I was stuck. I was
You're good.
I was gonna be like this, because you're going after people who are working. But like I said before, bro, this ain't gonna stop it. Doing all that in LA ain't gonna stop it, bro. What they gotta do, I keep telling them again, that's what I told them a month or two ago when this shit started, you need to stop going to work. You need to shut the machine down. And people say, no, we can't. I said, well, you're going to eventually be forced to, because they're going to come and take you. It's because what they're doing, there's a whole lot of us, homie. And if anything has schooled us on the streets and everything else, is jail, homie. You could have all the numbers, but if you ain't organized, they're going to beat you up. Beeping, this guy's going to take your shit. No. At some point, like, hey, hell no, bro. Like, wait a minute. No. And to us, is the way we organize is we get together, all these groups, and say, we're not going to work, bro. We're not going to go to work. 3 weeks, a week, 3 days, whatever. Some people say, it's not going to affect us. Yeah, it's going to affect you, bro. There's no way any factory, and let's say America's a huge factory, that the chunk of the labor just doesn't show up for work. You're not going to get the same progress, bro. And that's what they need to do. That'll wake them up. Like, I would think tomorrow's Friday, right? I would think every single field in Camarillo, Ventura County, nobody's there tomorrow. I would think. But unfortunately, you're going to have some people like, la raza piensa así a veces, güey. No me va a pasar a mí. No me va a pasar. It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. It's going to happen to you, bro. The amount of money, and let's talk about that. How much money do the feds and now have given to ICE?
Was with the new budget, it's $170 billion.
Jesus.
170 billion with the B. And I think you and I had talked about it. I think when we talk about money, we talk about millionaires, billionaires, because it's just the next thing in line. I think people don't understand how significant the difference between a million and a billion really is.
Right.
So we're joking about it, half joking about, to put it in context when it comes to time. So a million seconds is 11 days. It equates to about 11 and a half days. That's 1 million seconds, 11 days. Right. 1 billion seconds, B, is 31 years.
No way.
Think about that.
That's huge.
And a trillion, just for the deficit, just so you know, a trillion is about 33,000 years. A trillion, 1 trillion. So in our minds, when we start to say a million, he's a millionaire. Oh, he's a billionaire. You think like, oh, Caruso and I don't know, Snoop Dogg, they're the same. No, they're not the same.
No. You know? Well, that was that joke. I think Chris Rock said, no, that's like that fool's got money and that fool has wealth. Like in other words, the owner Buzz would tell Shaq, here's $1 million. Go buy some ranch or something like that. That's wealth and that's money.
100%. So to your question, when you're talking about the 170 billion that's being allocated to ICE, 45 billion of it goes to expand from 56,000 beds to 100,000 beds. So they're looking to expand big on the complexes. They're looking to build new institutions. 30 billion is to hire more ICE personnel. 29.9 billion for enforcement for actual deportations. 46.5 billion to complete the border wall that Mexico was going to pay for. 5 billion for customs and border protection facilities. 10 billion for border security initiatives, and that's more of like a slush fund, more broadly, like I think that they're not necessarily saying exactly what it's for. 13.5 billion towards reimbursing states and local governments that are engaging in immigration and border related enforcement.
So they give money to Texas and all those guys, Florida.
Exactly. 3 billion allocated to the Justice Department for courts to bring on new judges. 2 billion for retaining ICE agents, hiring new agents and bonuses, and 5 billion for new leases, checkpoints, custom border enforcement. So I say all that to say this. This is money that's being allocated now. So when you think about right now, we just talked about $170 billion to invest in all these different things. If you think things are rough now, imagine this times 3. You're basically tripling the amount of resources they're going to have. So when they're talking about bringing on 10,000 more ICE agents, imagine this ravaging the country. So when you're saying, and we're not obviously here to scare people or to say, the sky is completely falling, but chances are over the next 3.5 years, if you're illegal, chances are you're going to end up having a run-in with ICE.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's what goes into the deeper conversation about it, is what are we doing about it? Is it a big protest? Is it some little things that we can do on a day-to-day basis that we can actually all control? And I think that's some of the stuff that you and I were talking about.
Right. On a day-to-day basis, I mean, and the only thing like with myself, if like I'll follow some pages, and as soon as they post, like they posted one today, somebody sent it to me, and a lot of the people follow me on IG also be sending me stuff. Like today there was one in North Hollywood off Archwood and Truce or something. They say, hey, ICE is over here, Archwood and Truce, and I'll post it because I know people who live in that area, bro. Like if you're going for fools who actually got warrants, yeah, get them fools. You got a warrant for this vato, go get his ass, homie, deport him, no problem. We got no problem with that. But just going to a site and picking people up like that, nah, you're complete. That's complete in racial profiling. Let's say even if you get 10 guys, you get 2 citizens, bro. At the end, you're not going to white neighborhoods and doing that. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of Canadians who are illegal, bro. There's a lot of English people who are illegal, people from all over this world. You don't see them getting raided like that.
So when you start to think of again, so you and I were having this conversation about what are some of the other tactics that other countries have used or other law enforcement has used, or even in the past, right? So when you start talking about longer sentences, you start talking about Alligator Island, you start talking about deporting people to Sudan, you start talking like stuff we've never seen.
Right.
So to say that anything is off the table, I don't think we could say anything is off the table.
No, it's not, bro. This is something out of like after World War II. This is exactly what what this is, but on some straight, I don't give an F, bro. And the amount of money that they have allocated towards ICE, yeah, they mean major business, bro. But to me, I don't understand how like the governor can't. If I was the governor of California, bro, I'm flying over there. I don't care. Listen, talk shit to me, Trump. I'm flying. Sit me right there in front of the 2 chairs where you do your shit. I'm flying over there, bro. You know, and make it known, like, all right, dude, I'll let you know that you won. You can sit there. Well, you don't believe me, Chris?
I was gonna say, but didn't homeboy
Padilla?
Yeah, didn't he get removed? Remember that guy that got drug out by security?
Yeah, but Padilla went into the club like, you know who I am. You know
that's exactly what you're saying. No. You would go up to Trump. I wouldn't. Even though he's not answering my phone calls, I'm just gonna show up.
Rewind it. I'm flying over there, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He went to the press conference and got kicked out.
I can fly to Washington. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go in the White House and break in. I'm flying to Washington. I guarantee you he can get a meeting with him, bro.
Okay.
He can get a meeting. He's a governor, bro. And go in there and say, listen, I need to have a meeting with you, dude. I concede. I lost. Trump is an egomaniac, bro. I will no longer make, and this was a thing that Trump was politicking on him years before. I will no longer keep California as a sanctuary state. I will talk to all my cities, but that would be the deal. All my cities in California will no longer be sanctuary states, which means you can now go into the county jails, which means now you can go into the prisons, which means we're giving up the criminal element to you. Leave these people alone. So, and if he agrees to that, I'm like, all right, bro.
So I was listening to somebody about the jails, and I know we always bring that up, if they have the right to go into jail. I think it was Dawson, who was from the city council, that was saying, it's public record. Like, you know who's getting released. Like, they have access to the records. If anybody could just sit out there and wait for them. If it was really about that, they don't want to hand them on a silver platter. That might be another discussion. But again, to that, like, yeah, you can pull up anybody now in prison, in the county. They do have public access to information.
But that's the thing, and that's what they're kind of doing in the county jail right now. The feds are looking. But what the feds are saying, like, fool, I don't have to go looking. Show me your fucking file. You're making me do all this work. Yeah. So in other words, I can't. And then Newsom, I dare you to come. And well, he came, fool. He came and he brought his army. And this is what we're looking at right now. And this isn't gonna stop because right now there is no communication on both sides, bro. And are they wrong? Absolutely, they're wrong, bro. But you can't just sit here and just keep let's hear the audio, Chris. Let's see what they got going on over there.
Ice out of Oxnard.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong, bro. They're gonna leave. They're out of here, bro. Governor Newsom, don't even go to Washington, bro. They are saying chinga la migra and ice out of fucking Oxnard. I'm sorry, but hey, this ain't the 60s or the 70s, bro. Unless you're gonna get buck wild, that's what they did in the 60s and 70s. But that right there, Bruno, it ain't working, bro, because the other side looks at this and they fucking laugh at it. I know for a fact. I see them all day long. We got some in the comment section, bro. They don't give a shit. Chris, do you really think that's doing anything to deter them? The administration?
No. To the administration, no. But I think having a voice does help other people to get inspired to protest.
Nice. This is true. What do you think, Bruno? Talk to me, man.
Yeah, no, actually, before that, I was reading Lonnie Cruz's comment where he talks about getting profiled his whole life, that he's brown, tattooed, a felon. I mean, that goes right exactly into our conversation.
Yeah, hey, Lonnie, but you're a felon, fool. You weren't getting stitched.
This is not
No.
When you say you're a felon, you can't say you're racially for that. We're fucking with you, bro.
No, but it's true.
You should have kept that part out, bro.
His whole point of how he views himself or how he views the situation, I think it's exactly what you're talking about when it comes to the expungement, when it comes to expunging, helping people get their records expunged, helping people if they have unwanted tattoos, stuff that might label them, that make them self-conscious for whatever reason, helping people with stuff like that. Again, so you can talk idealistically, or you could say, like, in a big world, this is what we should do, and there's things that we can do. But I think when it comes to even, and I don't know, he says just get over it. That's like the old old like classic, just man up.
Right.
Just man up. Or you could work on your situation. You could figure out what you could do about it. And so if you're a felon, how about you just expunge your record? It's not that, again, even felons. So I don't know about Colorado, but here in California with SB 31, you're able to knock your felonies down to misdemeanors and then get them expunged. That's part of what American Cholo is doing. The American Cholo platform is offering, helping the listeners here locally get their records expunged for free.
That's right.
If you have tattoos that you're self-conscious about, that you think that could get you caught up later, American Cholo, the platform, they're paying to get people's tattoos removed to help you out, to maybe start to break some of that stuff, some of the stigmas that you might have or how you feel about yourselves because of mistakes you might have made in the past. But those are the type of things when we're saying, what can we do today? We could help each other out with these types of things.
Yeah, for sure, in our own community. I think what it comes down to, though, regardless, is like this, bro. We voted like heavily as far as men for trompas, right? And that tells you, regardless of who's in or out right now, the people that they're gonna deport, the voters are still here, bro. We're still here. The voters are still here. So come midterms, we're gonna vote a certain way. And there's gonna be some that don't give a shit. They're gonna keep doing it. Then Truth Media. So go with Truth Media. That's my buddy right there, bro. So what's your solution? And are you willing to take action? You're very critical of what people are doing. Listen, Truth Media, I get when I say that kind of shit, bro, but no, I'm actually proud that people are out there doing this. What I say is what, like Jackass, Dumb Supreme, and Heck something, that guy, Heck R, what these guys think, bro. The majority of people that just don't give a shit, they look at this and they laugh. They just, it makes it real. It's nothing. But like I said, my thing I would say is we need to protest, but not protest like this. We need to protest with our money, with our money. And some people say, well, Gill, people can't afford. Oh, well, when they take you, you're gonna be able to afford it because they're gonna take you to another country, bro. You're not gonna be working anymore. So either they're gonna keep picking us off one at a time. Here, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Oh, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Or they're gonna say, hey, there's nowhere to go. Nobody's at work, bro. What do you mean? Yeah, nobody showed up to work. Where? Everywhere. Could you imagine ICE waking up and say, nobody's at work?
Yeah.
And all day long, bro. I'll tell the like, hey, I ain't coming to work. What's going on? There's a major protest, bro. You tell me no se pueden aguantar 3 días, güey. Si no se pueden aguantar 3 días, pues no son raza. La raza se puede aguantar a huevo 3 días sin trabajar. No chingues.
So do you think 3 days would make?
I say a week, bro. I say a week, but 3 days will definitely. And I'm talking about everybody who's raza. I don't give a fuck if you got a job at the port. I don't give a fuck if you got a job at the police. Whatever you're working at the city, if you're really down for your people, like you say, sacrifice. It's called sacrifice, bro. And from what I'm seeing, people just don't want to sacrifice. They'll say, hey, no, we can't miss 3 days. But on Friday and Saturday, they got the fucking corridos, they got the mariscos, they got the fucking, they got the no botas, they got all that money to sit there and party, but they can't take 3 days off. Come on,
yes,
man.
Speaking of that, did you read that that now students that are applying for student visas to study in the country, that they're going through their social media, and there's a bunch of different things that disqualify them. And narco corridos is one of them.
For narco corridos. So if you got that, you got to take it off your IG.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So they're saying that if you're any kind of radicalist, you supporting the agenda that's anti-US, they could deny your student visa.
Like, damn, Chris, I'm gonna deny your student visa, Chris.
I got my degree already. I'm good.
hey, by the way, this is a good segment to plug Mr. Chris's music, man. You gotta get a thing. I keep trying to tell him, plug your stuff. Today, I didn't know. Yesterday, he finally told me that he's on Pandora, right? Mm-hmm. So I go today. I go swimming a little bit. I put Chris on Pandora. Chris, that thing was bumping, bro. That thing was bumping, bro.
Oh, thank you.
I heard the whole record, bro. Go to Pandora. And
you definitely need to plug it more, Chris. What's going on?
That's true.
You don't have it as your background music or anything like that, or intro out music?
On what? On this show?
No, he'll copyright me, fool. Chris a cool dirtbag, bro. He's like, he'll be like, your video
off the air.
It'll say your video is still available, but the person who's copyrighted is now making the money off of it. It'll be monetized. He'll sneak it in every show, bro. Sunday or Saturday should be legit. Nah, fool. You gotta protest Monday through Wednesday. Even let's have a long weekend, bro.
Business days. It's got to be a business day.
Let's have a long weekend. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then when you have those days off, then you can go help feed people, go to communities, give some food out. Hey, you need me to go to the market? Like, stuff like that. But we should stack up enough to have 3 days. Come on, dude. Enough 3 days, we can do it. But unfortunately,
Well, I don't know if you heard about that group called Agents of Change. They're at a USC. What they're doing is there's a lawyer behind that. And what he was doing is he was setting...
You can turn that down a little bit, Chris.
Because they were taking people out of their immigration hearings when they were going to report, he was getting them scheduled on Zoom so they didn't have to physically go.
There you go.
So that's a perfect example of a black lawyer at a USC saying, you know what could we do? What could our group do to help? So he set up a call center. He's got a bunch of volunteers in there. And so people are calling and they're saying, my hearing is this date. And so he's filing petitions to get them on Zoom.
Right.
So he doesn't have to go down. So again, you some people hear about it, some people don't. Like, these are the type of things that we can all take advantage of and to say, you know what, he's doing his part. So yeah, what is our part? What can you do? I'm really interested in hearing about the organizations that are helping families where fathers are being taken out of their homes or families are being broken up, mothers being taken out. What are they doing about the kids?
You know what? Right now that you brought that part up, you know what, it went on my head, bro? I was like, damn, this is gonna make it's gonna spike the generations of children that are gonna be more in trouble, are gonna be, less guidance with fathers now, because most of these guys that are taking are fathers that are actually working. Aquí están porque están trabajando, güey. So now all of a sudden you took that man out of the house and you took that money out of the house. So guess what? You just became more hood right now,
and
bro.
They're barely hanging on by a string. It's not like they're taking our professionals and it's high-end earners. And again, I think speaking of high-end earners, like Lonnie, self-made millionaire, made it. Again, he says thanks for reading the comments. It's people like you, Lonnie, that I think, and not that you owe us anybody or Raza or anybody, but it's success stories like yours that you can get on a platform. You can say, look, I'm brown. I was a felon. I'm tatted up. But guess what? These are the steps that I took to make it out of my situation, to break that. And because you're fortunate, again, all of us here are homeowners. All of us here have, multi-million-dollar homes. We all drive new cars. We're fortunate enough, but that's why we choose to give back. That's why we decide to come in and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm good. His citizenship, he's good.
Oh, yeah.
Like Chris just said, I have my college degree, but at the same time, we're all still figuring out how to give back, because we understand the dream that our parents had when they came here. We understand the sacrifices that were made when they came here to give us this better life, to give us the opportunities. And so to sit back and say, F these dudes, or again, to your point, public safety is public safety. Criminals, people that are out here acting a fool, yeah, by all means. But people like Lonnie, or people like us that have the resources, that have the ability, that have the story to come back and pick up the person behind us, and the poor kids that are born here, American like us, born here because their parents are being deported because they made whatever choices they made. It doesn't stop the fact that these kids need help. These families need help that are being they're having to deal with what's going on in the situation.
Yeah, but there's no empathy, bro. Not even within our own people, unfortunately. There is a good chunk, but there's a good chunk that also, and we'll see tomorrow, that just don't give a shit. Like, really don't care. They're like, they're here illegal, they broke the law, and that's it. But to me, it's ironic that just in this week, of course, in my comment section all day long, I get both sides, and I get, they broke the law, they're illegal. They're like, yo, get some here. They broke the law, they're illegal. They broke the law, they're illegal. They broke the law. But we just had the Epstein file with, they said, hundreds of victims, thousands of hours of videos. All these rich people were having sex with minors, bro. And we know that happened. But all of a sudden, the rich people who are telling you, hey, they broke the law because they came here illegally, and that's kind of it's the same infraction of almost like running a red light, bro. but you're having sex with minors, but that's okay. And then we also, when we voted for Trompito, some of us that did, we were bragging about him having 14 felonies, fool. We're saying our president is going to be a straight felon.
Yeah.
That's okay, but now somebody comes here illegal. Listen, you do a robbery, you're illegal. Yeah, you should be gone, bro. You're doing some stupid. Yeah, you should be gone in this day and age. But the people that are sitting just working, especially if they've been here like over 5 years, like, come on, fool. To me, easily, if they've been here pre-Biden, before all that crazy shit, and they still here, obviously they're not breaking the law, bro.
Well, I think even a lot of conservative Republicans, especially ones that are running for office, they'll tell you that they don't know exactly what it looks like, what the parameters are like, but there should be some form of path to citizenship when it comes to long-term people that have been here, that can prove they've been here. Even Donald Trump said for the field workers, he said, if you'll vouch for them, we could figure out something that we could let them stay. So even your daddy Donald Trump, for him to come out and say there should be some kind of path for some people. Yeah, of course, the hotel workers.
But somebody got in his ear, bro. Look at this. Remember, he said he wasn't going to do this 2-3 weeks ago. He said, I talked to certain people, and that's why I mean, because I'm sure he did get phone calls from fucking billionaires. It's not millionaires who are calling him, bro. It's people with money like, hey, I run these hotels, and I'm getting calls from all these managers that people don't want to go in. And there's construction sites right now. That's how it is. Even mine, there's people that are not working. But if everybody just doesn't show up to work, the worst thing Scrooge McDuck would hate is to see his money going down, bro. Because Scrooge McDuck, for you young guys that don't know, is that duck that would swim in his own gold, bro. Scrooge McDuck wants to swim in his own gold. So if Scrooge McDuck go to his swimming pool and he sees the money going down because the Latinos haven't gone to work, well, why? Well, motherfucker, you're deporting all of them. Yeah. And this is another ironic part. You can quote me on this one in the future. The only way that the big beautiful bill is going to succeed, as much money that he cut for the billionaires, is in growing the economy. And I mean, you got to grow this economy a good chunk, bro. Yeah. How the hell are you going to grow the economy when you're taking your big chunk of workers? Because the majority of those fucking huevones that ain't worked and all of a sudden you took their Medicaid, they don't give a shit, bro. They ain't gonna go to work, homie. I'm sorry, but ain't no American, homie, whether you a Mexican American, you a black brother American, you a white American, you ain't going to those fields and picking that shit. You ain't breaking your back like that. You could sit there and talk all that shit. Oh, if they paid me $150, I don't give a fuck. They paid you $200,000, bro. You ain't gonna be able to hang, bro. You ain't gonna be able to hang. And these are the facts. So I think this is brewing up to be a perfect storm for this whole shit to fucking really come down. Us all kind of money. You're gonna get rid of all these people and all these dummies that I'm gonna fucking. You ain't gonna go to work if you ain't been working, homie. This ain't gonna make you work, homie. Stop it already.
Well, I think something that's interesting when you see Donald Trump buddied up with, say, someone like Bukele, right? And somebody like Bukele that. The world could look back, and if you agree with it, or if you disagree with it, wherever you stand on how he managed to clean up his country and incarcerate all the MSs and CCOT, right. And if you look at the way they were doing a lot of the raids, he said, if you have MS tattooed, or if you have gang tattoos, even if they don't say MS, if they look like kind of sus, guess what? You got life without.
Oh yeah, nothing major.
Yeah, nothing major.
Jesus.
No visits, no letters, no due process. You're just in prison because these tattoos. So again. A lot of times people will say, well, that can't happen in America because America's different. We have this, we have that. Well, when you start giving immunity to a president, and it doesn't matter if it's Biden, if it's Trump, if it's Obama, fill in the blank, St. Reagan, whoever the case might be, once you start going down that path and you start breaking whatever norms, whatever the Constitution was supposed to protect us against, I mean, it's kind of scary. And so when you're sitting there with somebody and they're telling you, no, this is how I did it. Check it out.
For sure.
I wiped out my problem. I just locked them all up. And so even to the point where Trump says, okay, can I send some your way? Yeah, sure. No problem.
It's a business, bro.
Yeah. So these are the type of things that, again, when people look at things and say, no, not in America, that can't happen in America, I honestly don't think that there's anything that's off the table based off of what we're seeing, based off all the new precedents that are coming out, all the things that we said, no, that's against the law. And when people say, oh, no, that's why we have the courts. That's why we have checks and balances.
His side, brother, that balances.
Yeah, so the checks and balance system is out the window. Even if for whatever reason the Democrats were to take back the House or whatever the case might be, he still has 2 or 3.
Right. But the thing is this, bro, when it comes down to it, the Democrats, I'm sorry to say, are pussies, bro. That's what it comes down to, bro. When they're in charge, they act like a bunch of pussies, fool. This fool has came in here, whether you love him or hate him, Bruno. He's came in here in the last 6 months, fool, and done more than fucking presidents who have gone 8 years.
Yeah.
So when I hear these guys, help us, they're gonna do this, and they don't, bro. But now at least this fucking crazy SOB showed us that, fool, a president's got some major fucking power.
Yeah.
You just gotta use it.
Yeah.
But they don't. So we need to find somebody. The next presidential run, we as Latinos need to get off this Democrat thing, bro. I'm independent, but I voted that way. I just shown we can go another way, because we need to make immigration the top thing. If you remember the presidential debates, and we had this conversation, not one time did they even mention Latinos, bro. Not one time. Hey, so what do you think about immigration? Hey, so I'm like, look, bro, we're not even in the discussion, bro.
Yeah.
In other words, in California, we can run this whole state. We've got the numbers to run it, bro.
Yeah.
We've really got the numbers, but we're too busy. Like, it doesn't affect us. That's what we always say. Full politics is boring, Gill. It doesn't affect us. Well, people, if it affects you, homie, get involved or get ran over.
1,000,000%.
One of the two.
And to your point about the power that Trump is showing us what a president can do, I think the interview you had yesterday, where the Sheriff Bianco was saying that how he increased the CCWs in Riverside,
Right.
how his goal would be to eliminate state income tax. When he talks about getting rid of a bunch of regulations that stop us, that prevent us from building,
Right.
stuff like that. Like, I think if he gets elected or not, to your point, if a governor can come in and do these type of things, I know there's a commenter that keeps talking about how you voted for, you're only worried about eggs and gas prices. Well, I think, local government can affect like that
Of
type
course.
of change, like real change. But to keep, and we always say this on majority of these shows is, okay, what's done is done. There's no use crying over how we voted, what we did, when I say we, our people, majority of our people. But again, what are we doing today? Somebody else mentioned, it's a lot of talk, but no movement.
Imagine if Churchill, during World War II, because Churchill was the one that was a war hawk. People who don't know the history, Churchill was the one that was fighting Hitler from day one. He was telling everybody, this guy's this guy's that, right? Imagine if Churchill, all of a sudden, the people that he was saying that to, and they said, Churchill, we now agree with you. He would be like, no, you didn't agree with me, so don't get on board now. No, it makes no sense, bro. We need to just figure out, this is our issue now, and what are we going to do about it? I mean, I can easily just turn the TV off. I can easily not turn on the news, bro. I can go swimming like I went today. Buy me a 6-pack of beer, throw me some Chris J. Hudson on there, and do some laps in my pool, bro. I ain't worried about ICE coming for me. I ain't worried for the police coming for me. I still live in my hood, Mr. Pepino up the butt. I'm still in my neighborhood. I'm good, homie. I could sit here and turn this off. It doesn't affect me, bro. Very simple. But the thing is, I care, and I think a lot of people care. We just got to figure out how to do it.
Well, I think right now, the third 57 sleeper says that we need to worry about right now and not in a few. I think that's the point of this conversation here. Why you and I are sitting here right now, to not only, again, to start sharing some stuff that we're looking to do, but also, take some phone calls, start figuring out, like, okay, this is what we think we could do. This is what we can control, but what do you think we can do? And together, how are we going to collaborate to figure that out? And I think to whatever the, hold on.
Don't listen to that guy. Yeah. He's a smoker. He's the OG smoker.
So the other guy that was saying that we don't have the power, or that we're too divided. How about because so many people tend to believe that or say stuff like that. Why don't we prove them wrong? Why don't all of us, yourself included, who's ever making those comments, say, you know what? Let's bring some form of unity.
No, at the end, bring some to the table. What's your thing? Oh, well, you voted for this. Okay, so what should we do? Well, you voted. Okay, so what should we do? Well, you voted for. I'm like, fool, like, I'm ready to get into the right, all right, fool, it is what it is. But you voted for it. I'm going to stay back here. Fool, you're just a punk. Like, if all you got is you voted for this, then next time I'm going to do what a lot of people did. I don't vote. That way I can say, oh, look, you voted for, like, no, bro, I pick a side. Most people this election were like, well, I'm not even going to vote, bro. Yeah. And I get that. Yeah. But I'm not sitting and saying, oh, well, you didn't vote, so you can't say anything. Nah, it is what it is. The vote's done. Here's where we're at. What do we do now? It's like hiring a contractor or hiring somebody, be like, yeah, this guy's not really doing the job, bro. There's plenty of guys I've told him, hey, bro, it's just not working out. Like,
Yeah.
I'll pay you up to where you're at, and we're done working. But imagine if I tell the guys at work, hey, dude, I got to fire. Well, you got this guy in. Like, the fuck? What are we, kids, fool? This is business. All right, well, let's move on. And talking about moving on, we're going to take a commercial break, and after the commercial break, we will be taking phone calls. So all you lames, all you haters, I don't want people to call and agree with me. I want you to call and disagree with me, man. And other than that, you guys can call too. Let's take a little break.
Yeah, Lonnie, we're looking forward to hearing from you. You better call in, brother. You got a lot to say, so give us a
Lonnie
call.
stays talking. He's good, homie. He's good. I want to talk to the smoker, carnal. OG smoker. See if he's got a good price for some crack over here, carnal. I'm feeling twitchy. Let's do this, Chris. Chris not ready for that. All right, people, we need your support. This channel exists because you believe in our stories. We're not funded by big corporations. We're not bought by special interests. We're independent for the people, by the people. And we're here to speak the truth of our communities across the country. Every story we bring to you about injustices, about our culture, about what's really going on in our neighborhood is powered by us, and hopefully now by you. We're asking every single viewer who values what we're doing here to help us stay independent. If just a few of you would donate $2 to $5, it'll make a huge difference. It's easy. You could send support through Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Your donation doesn't just keep the lights on, it keeps our voices strong. We're not just another YouTube channel. We're your news, we're your platform, we're your movement. So if you rock with us, if you believe in independent Latino media, drop $2, $3, or $5 today. Thank you so much for watching, supporting, and standing with us. We're just getting started. Let's grow together.
Are you dealing with a busted pipe, clogged drain, or no hot water? Don't stress. Call the pros at Rockstar Plumbing in Chatsworth. Our licensed and insured team handles it all. Fast, clean, and reliable. From leak repairs to full water heater installs, we've got you covered. Trusted by your neighbors and rated 5 stars across the valley. Call now, 818-814-3044, or find us online. Rockstar Plumbing. We don't just fix pipes, we rock them.
All right, guys, you guys know the American CHOLO platform is here to inform, motivate, and educate. And in today's turbulent times, a criminal record or a bad tattoo can leave a long-lasting mark on your future. That's why we're giving back. We are now offering adult criminal record expungement and free tattoo removal, exclusively for Los Angeles residents. Don't let your past define your future. Reach out to Bruno Hernandez at bruno@stpla.org and take the first step towards a fresh start. Thank you and God bless.
Do you need a tattoo but don't know where to go? Thinking about having your homie do a homemade one? Hey, let me stop you right there. Tattoos are permanent, people. Let the pros handle it. Go see our friends down at SoCal Tattoo. The address, 6000 Reseda Boulevard, Unit M, Tarzana, California, 91356. The phone number, 818-578-6562. Once again, 818-578-6562. And tell them American CHOLO sent you.
Yeah, when you were talking about we do that tattoo removal free now, I was gonna say, hey, bro, we also do tattoos, but those aren't free, bro.
Yeah.
Just let you know. All right, people. Yeah, let's put the number up there, Chris. We want to hear your guys' voices. Not your sexy voice, just your voice, bro. 747-279-8109. 747-279-8109, dude. Let's get some phone calls in here. We stand divided. We stand with the gente, brown and proud. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, but that only goes so far, bro. That only goes so far. Because I hear people all the time, like, you know, something more needs to be done. And I get it. The energy is there. See, like all those people that are there that have that energy. Let's say we do have a place where we don't go to work for a few days and all that. Those young kids will be the same ones out there getting food at their local neighborhood, and after that going to the neighborhoods and offering food to people at their homes. Like, hey, dude, we got this dish for you, or we got these groceries for you, like stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of like local markets would help support. Like we've got a strong base, bro. We just got to call it out, man.
Yeah, but I think again, going back to Lonnie, it's about people like you, people like Chris, like all of us, like showing, again, sharing the story for the people that don't believe that there's a way out, for people that don't understand or don't see the path, to say, no, look, and I know you've done a great job of it, saying like, I'll take you on as apprentice, I'll get you work coming out of your situation, but it has to start with, we talk about the Dodgers, like we love Ohtani and we love Betts and all these people, but we need to be able. All right.
Hotline.
Going, Gill.
We're doing good. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Corey, calling from Chicago. You just said I spoke well last time. Okay. I'm the guy that told you guys. I've been told you I don't agree with you. I really feel like you guys come off entitled, and so I'm playing the devil advocate. I always start up the conversation.
Let's do it, Chi-Town. Okay, so how do you feel? How do you take it as we are entitled?
Two incidents that I want you to bring, that I want to bring up.
Let's do it.
Last time I brought up to you, first Trump and everybody did say they're getting rid of elite. Well, this is the entitled part.
Okay.
I told you before people are just, this California thing is becoming an uproar because it's in Cal. But literally in January, February, and I would say mid-March, I would say all of March.
Yeah.
California, Mexicans wasn't saying anything. But Haitians, Venezuelans, like I said, what you guys see out there, out here in the Midwest, it's more the Venezuelans getting taken. You're seeing Africans getting taken. You're seeing a few Asian groups, like in Wisconsin, a lot of the Hmongs are getting taken.
I remember. Let me respond real quick.
It just became an uproar, and you guys are making it seem like it's only you.
Okay,
where it's not a specific race thing.
I get it, but when it's happening into your hometown and your people, you're gonna look at what's going on in your hometown and your people.
And
right?
I understand.
No, but let me tell you something where I do agree with you somewhat, right? When it was happening in January, February, March, people were seeing that, and you can go back somewhere in the videos, and I talked about it because they said, hey, you think it's going to eventually come to California? I said, absolutely. I said, what they're doing is they're testing all these smaller places little by little, and then they're going to come to California. And then I remember specifically, even on a podcast, not to call Compa Raider out in any bad way, but Compa Raider, out of all people, said, oh yeah, they could take the Venezuelans, like pretty much fuck them. They're not Mexicans. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, they're gonna take everybody, bro. So I get that part because it's people like saying, yeah, take them, take this, but at the end they're taking everybody, bro. But I don't think there's no entitled to it. I think it's like anywhere else, kind of like how we were saying with Churchill in World War II. People don't really think it's gonna come to their shore until it hits their shore. So once it hits your shore, they're like, hey, wait a minute, we're part of this fucking war as well. So unfortunately, it took this to happen, and now is, what do we do? Let me ask you this: do you think this is okay, that what's going on in California with all the military out on the streets like that?
The military part, first thing, what I just seen, like with what just happened at the farm, those are not military guys. And I told you before, and a lot of your guests agree with me, you from the streets.
Yeah.
We know and then you got the educated guy next to you, during the crack era, but even recently, with specifically California, with gang injunctions, you guys are being coddled. I have had a house raided. When they come 6 a.m, they kick in the door, they mace up the whole house, kids crying, mom saying, get the fuck out my house, and they saying, bitch, shut up.
Yeah,
so
but
you guys are being coddled. You guys are not even being beat with nightsticks.
You gotta just jump in there, Bruno. Really you gotta just jump in there, Bruno. He won't let you go. You gotta do it, baby. Go ahead there, Bruno.
Yeah, no, real quick. So I think when you're saying that we're making a big deal out of it, I think the main part that really kicked it off was the militarization in downtown. So you're right. These guys here, they're not military, but one of the biggest problems, we don't even know who they are necessarily, what agency it is. And when you're talking about Chicago, or you're talking about all the different challenges that we have, I've been to Chicago plenty of times too, so I'm really familiar with a lot of the challenges that go on out there. But when we say, getting houses kicked in at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, the battering ram, remember that's all stuff that the songs, all that stuff came out of the West Coast. Like we've been going through that since the 80s. The crack epidemic that hit Compton. We know it. No,
the only thing that I'm trying
he's trying to say that's what we used to go through. So this is not hard.
No, so that.
Yeah. Gill understands what I'm trying. And that's where the entitlement comes from. Normal American citizens went through this.
Yeah.
Why are you guys tripping that? Oh, the illegals are going.
So that's real quick to tie that up. So that's where we're going with that. So if you look up on the Google a front door getting blown off during immigration raids, right? So when they're going after, again, if they got a warrant for me and they come in, they blow off my door, hey, it's part of the game, right? But when you have a mother and 2 infant kids and they're blowing off a door and the guy's not even there, and the guy ends up he's not even wanted for anything serious. It ends up being a fender bender.
But we had that in Kentucky. We had that in Kentucky where they killed the woman and they said, "Oh, wrong house." This happens all the time where they raise the wrong house and gun shop.
This, what you're saying, it does happen here and there. But what you're having in California right now, you're having people who are at the best sometimes have a misdemeanor charge and they're being treated like a murder charge, bro. There is a big difference.
And that's where the entitlement comes in.
No. If it's come on, out of everybody's a brothers with entitlement. If you get pulled over, so now every brother should be able to get pulled over and dragged out of his car and this and that. We go back to the 60s? No, absolutely not.
No.
We elevate the game, bro.
Gill,
these
are the 3 things, and I'm going to do it real quick. These are the 3 things that I'm trying to prove. You bringing up the 60s. I'm bringing up even recently with L.A. and New York. 2 things, and the educated guy knows.
Let's do it.
You will know about L.A. Gang injunction, they did it. Everybody, and this is not a race thing. Brother, Latinos, you guys together, we pulling you out the car just because you look like it. In New York, in the 2000s, they had stop and frisk.
Yep.
I get to stop you. No reason why. You guys are walking 2 or more deep or you look suspicious. I can stop you regardless. So let's stop coddling non-immigrant when or making it seem like, we treated our own people.
Yeah. Hold on, Chris, jump in real quick.
All right, so are you saying these things that you're bringing up, are you saying that these are right?
Chris.
No, what I'm saying is this. I'm saying, and this is where I try to make people say I'm universal on a race card. Because I'm talking about Gill and everybody.
Even Chris?
I don't have sympathy. All I say is you take care of home first. In the Midwest, that's what we're big on. You take care of home first. So at the end of the day, Gill, you, me, every American, I don't have too much sympathy for why they doing immigrant like this when our fellow citizens are getting like this. You guys are complaining about the jail system where they're at, but you guys are not complaining about our messed up prison systems where our fellow civilians are at right now. And drugs it's almost like you guys have more empathy.
Well, let me tell you the difference. The difference is you're trying to compare felons and street gangs to people working.
But you know what? I love a felon more than I love an illegal.
If they pull up in the hood, and you out there slanging dope or kicking it, that's part of the game. If you're going to work and I'm pushing a cart, I clean the local Walmart parking lot, and you got 8-10 guys coming up to your 80-year-old man, it's excessive. There's no way around it, bro. And to me, if you think it's fine, because so in other words, I suffered. That's what you sound like to me. I suffered, so I want all you motherfuckers to suffer too.
No.
Real quick. One last thing though. You say that what we do, we don't do. That's what I do for a living. I have a justice reform organization. We focus on mass incarceration. We focus on the conditions of incarceration. We fight all of the enhancements, all the different things that have put black and brown in jail. That's what I do for a living. So to say that what we do or what we don't do, what we worry about, you can't.
I never said you don't do. I just say I'm just a patriot of of civilians, and me and Gill might not see eye to eye. We don't see eye to eye when it comes to when it comes to regardless of a misdemeanor. I have more respect for that. Not respect, but that felon is still an American and that illegal. But this is what one argument that I want you guys to share, and this is what the guests love me about. But Gill was biased. But now we just had something recent after this conversation I had last time with Gill.
Yeah.
So now in Mexico, they just had a giant protest in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Some people tried to throw a crazy narrative out, but basically his Mexicans were complaining about Americans and nomads in their city, bringing up rent, not speaking Spanish.
100%.
They're throwing rocks, and they're saying, speak Spanish or get out.
Yeah. They're trying to break into restaurants where Americans
I mean, it was a mess, and I think a lot of people are not educated, and I want people to see that, and I compare it to what I talked to Gill about DR with the Haitians, Europe with the illegals, and this is where I want to say it's a universal thing. It's bigger than what we just see on TV with our country, and I want us to realize a lot of countries are now starting to become segregated, and not hatred, but you might start turning it into prejudice.
You got a little bit of hatred out here right now. You definitely do.
Right, hatred, but it might turn into prejudice. It might turn into prejudice or nationalist if you guys don't realize.
Oh, you're already there, Shaitan. You're already there, buddy.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But I'm fine to accept. Yes, I'm a nationalist. Ones are saying, but and this is how ones are looking at it.
You got 10 seconds.
Because I believe it. All right, I believe gentrification has messed up a lot of things. Ones are looking at it as Mexicans are even saying it in Mexico. If you don't speak Spanish, get the fuck out of here. So why can't we? But then they want to come over here and feel entitled and say, well, why do we have to? Why can't? I don't understand that. And just argue that Dominican Republic, Haiti, Europe, just speak on the immigrant problem on all these countries.
Hey, I appreciate the phone call and the feedback all the time, my man.
All right,
brother. At least he calls and lets us know, dude. Ah, damn it, I'm prejudiced from Chirac. Shit. Said if I suffer, everybody will suffer, bro. Oh man. I don't think that's the way it should work. He said, I'd rather give a felon. Yeah, he did last time. He's not give a fuck. The felon's got more rights, bro. Like, no, if you're out there acting a fool, come on. Let's go. Hotline.
There's a new caller.
Hotline.
What's going on, man? I'm trying to hit Jafar from New York.
What's up, New York? Talk to us, Playboy.
Yeah, what's going on? He said a lot of interesting things. I heard him before.
Yeah, that's my man.
He said something about the stop and frisk, and I want to say this. So, it was harsh, it was tough, but I would say a lot of people is alive because of that stop and frisk. I mean, he left out that detail, right? A lot of people. Listen, man, a lot of people is alive because of that. Like, it stopped a lot of, excuse my language, bullshit.
Right.
Now, what I'll say about California, I kind of disagree with you on one thing. You say they test other places. They didn't really test other places. It's just that y'all leadership in California is well, you got other states bucking the government, but y'all leadership in California is bucking the government to the utmost degree. And I'll give you a couple examples. For one, they won't let them go into the prison. And then in California, because I've been trying to, if I'm not working, I'm trying to keep up with immigration through all states. Unfortunately, there's a criminal, because they've caught a lot of drugs, they've broken up a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, the criminals are hiding amongst the regular people. So they're not going to make a distinction. The criminals are hiding amongst the regular people out there. And then two, also going back to your leadership, I would say out of any governor in the United States, Trump hates Gavin Newsom. Remember, he was running for campaign.
Facts.
When he was running for campaign, they'll be talking to Trump about golf. He'll just bring up what he would say, Gabby Newsom. Nobody in America, y'all don't
Gruesome. He either calls him Gruesome Newsom, bro.
Yeah, Gabby Newsom. Yeah, so he'd be talking about golf, and he'll be talking about golf and bring up Gabby Newsom. So I think there's no more governor in the United States that Trump personally hates. That he hates that man, and he can't take it out on him. He could do two things. He only could do one thing. Newsom is restrict certain funding, and then come in how he's coming in. Do I agree with they should have military and all that? No, come on, we talking about military? No.
Right.
Black people didn't like it when they was doing it, so we can't sit there and be like that. Now, I do believe we can't just be letting people come in here and give them a bunch of free. Nah, we can't do that, man, for long term, because now you're starting to see the effects of that. Certain cities are bankrupt behind that. Like, certain cities are, so you can't let like a million people come in and give.
Oh no, absolutely no. Like we've said, this is part of the last administration. This is just one thing. All that came in. This was a correction over, but it's an overcorrection. But I do agree with you with the Newsom part. That's what I was saying earlier. That Newsom should call the guy up and say, hey, all right, dude, we'll go on the news. They'll show that I caved into my sanctuary city policies, but leave these people alone. I'll let you go into jails. I'll let you get the criminals. Shit, we'll help you get the criminals, but leave the rest of these people alone.
And I had a quick question. I had a quick question. So you and this is a question. It's not a comment. So when you say that that the stop and frisk saves a lot of lives, right? Of course, I'm coming in from a California perspective, and also from a justice reform perspective. Do you feel that it's dangerous to normalize law enforcement or any kind of authority to specifically target a certain demographic or certain area, certain community? It could be, again, black, brown, white, regardless if you live in, I don't know, whatever, Marcy projects or something. Like to say everybody here at the Marcy will have a right to stop.
I'm from Bushwick. But check it out. That's a good question. I appreciate that question. That's a real good question, because I've lived in communities where we got, I'm 43 years old, so that was happening. I was young, and then at that time, I'm married, got children now, but at that time, I was in the streets, man, and I heard Gill say something about he wanted some crack, some hard, man. Listen, Gill, I'm gonna say that, man. I might have a flashback. I'm just joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. But what I'm saying is, during those times in New York, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, New York had a lot of the blood hair was starting to get big and starting to get very, very powerful. And then in terms, and I have to be honest, and that's kind of how the Crips started here, because the Bloods were getting so big in New York, and they were starting to victimize innocent people. We had if you can go back, there were articles in the New York Post just to get, and some of these Bloods, just to get initiated, they were running around just slashing people's faces. I don't care what race you was. I don't care how old you was. They victimized you here in New York. So sometimes you got to get rough to stop certain stuff. And a lot of people didn't die because of that. Was it ugly? Yes, but what's more ugly is, listen, I don't know about you. I don't know about Gill. Yo, I've seen 12, 13-year-old. I've seen a 10-year-old in a casket before. Not natural death. I'm talking about from a bullet. You ever seen a kid in a casket?
No,
shit look different. That's not like seeing a grown person in the street gang banging. Nah, it's different when you see a little girl. I've seen little girls in caskets, man. That is scary. That's creepy. You can't so do I believe in that? No, I don't. But if things get too extreme, then sometimes, it takes extreme measures to calm down extreme situations.
And so I guess the reason why I asked that is just, so again, when we're talking about, let's just say my work, right? So one of the things that we look at are the demographics in LA County Jail. So when you look and you say between 85 and 88% of the people in the LA County Jail are black or brown, like at some point you have to stop and ask, like, are we really just inherently bad people? Are we really just inherently just criminals?
Yes.
No. Like in your situation, and it's guys like you all across the country, and unfortunately, they're only black and brown guys that do that. So we need other groups of other races to do that. So what you do it's an underrated role in our society, and it plays a big part in just chewing up a lot of things.
And not to cut you off on that, but so for me, one of the things that I always look at is, when you listen to these stories or you talk to these people coming out of the system. Myself, obviously, Gill and I, we both grew up in the youth authority, same neighborhood, same all that type of stuff, right? So it's not like I'm just coming from like from an academic viewpoint and saying, oh, I'm reading these statistics and I think no, grew up in the system, camped 3 times, YA, all that stuff, right? So I know what that's like, but so I always ask myself, why is it that most of these homes tend to not have a father in them? Gill's house, no father in the home, me, no father in the home. So you start going over and over, like, wow, what a unique correlation that we keep having these problems. So then you say, why isn't the father at home? Well, he's incarcerated, or he's been locked up, or he's got caught up in the system, and he ended up going down all these different paths. So when we look at these things, we analyze them and say, okay, well, did the father have to go to prison? Was it serious enough? Could he have had a different chance? What led him there? What is it now? If he's a threat to society, he's cutting up people's faces and robbing old ladies, yeah, by all means, he belongs in prison. Do what you got to do. But if it's somebody that's drunk in public, somebody that's on some other stuff, so that's why I don't want to keep going on and on.
He's gonna keep going on, New York.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
You gotta stop him at some point, bro. This is my liberal brother, man. This is the other balance. This is the yin to the yang, brother.
So to end it, I'll just say that I always just find it interesting when minorities, people like us, when we start to normalize tactics and laws that are completely.
Chicago was saying lock everybody up, beat them up.
No. Let's check it out. But see, like I said, I'm from the biggest city in America. I'm from that type of environment, like where we got harassed, and like I said, like there's 2 sides of everything.
Yes.
Like I said, like in my life, I've been to other people. I've been to little kids' funerals. So once you start saying me, I would say because just the way I live, I'm married, I go to work, my sons, my daughters. Well, you wouldn't even think we're from this place, but I still don't look down on people, but I do understand that at times. Do I think it needs to be year-round? No. Do I think... But see, let me say something about white people. That white people feed off statistics. So if you over-police a black or a brown neighborhood, then you're going to be always say, look, it's always black and Hispanic men locked up. Because if you... Listen, when I sold drugs when I was young, a lot of my customers was white boys, was rich white boys coming from Westchester County, way to Brooklyn to get drugs. Now, buying drugs is supposed to be a felony, at least in New York at the time, but they are big into statistics. That's why they're always talking about welfare, this, that, and the third. But really, they're the most people on welfare. So in the white psychology, everything is always about numbers. They don't care if it has context to it. They don't care if it don't need context. They just need to say that we're going to over-police these neighborhoods. Now, I'll give you one example. I went to
you got 15 seconds.
Okay, I went to New Orleans one time. I went to New Orleans one time. This particular, it was scary. I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Now that's the area that needs to be over policed. Now you got certain neighborhoods. Yeah, I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here.
Chris is gonna start playing the music at the Academy Awards, bro. That means you got
New Orleans catching strays for no reason.
New York, I always appreciate your calls, man, and your insights, my man.
I take care, man.
Thank you, appreciate you, brother. Hey, we gotta get the Academy Awards song, Chris. You know what I'm talking about? When they start playing it.
Yeah, the string music.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? All right, man, we're going to take a couple more phone calls over here. I can't believe it's already been an hour and 20 minutes, bro. This is... Hotline.
They hung up.
Oh, they're there. They're coming in. Hotline. The lines are crossing. Caller, who's this?
What's up, man?
What's happening? Who's this? Where are you calling from?
How's it going?
It's going well. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
It's Javier from Downey.
Javier from Downey. What's going on, buddy?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, bud. We're good. Talk to us.
Hold on there. Hey, You guys are talking about the whole immigration thing right now, huh?
We're talking about trucks and just fast cars. I got a lifted truck. I got 2 inches in the front, leveling kit, 33-inch tires.
You got 2 inches in the front?
The 2-inch kit in the front, the thing in the back,
Growing out of shore, bro.
Yeah, man.
What's up,
crazy.
Playboy? Talk to us, bro. Talk to us.
I told him, yeah, man, everything's going perfect here in Downey, California. It's beautiful out here. A bunch of Mexicans just having fun, living life, and living life to what it is.
Over there yet?
No,
don't jinx yourself,
you know they call this. You know they call Downey the Mexican Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, bro. I don't know if that's such a great thing though, but yeah, I heard it's a good place. But is that where Roger's from?
No.
Yeah.
No, Roger's from down here.
He said it was a shit.
It is a great thing, but you know who's opposed to that?
What's that?
You know who's opposed to that?
Who's that?
The Cubanos. There's a big Cubano place around here.
The Portos is right there on Firestone.
Oh, they're moving in.
Yeah, the Cubanos.
So it's gonna be the Cuban Beverly Hills here pretty soon.
Hey, but check this out.
Shoot.
I'm fucking around. You know I'm fucking around.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, pero esta madre. So you're getting a lot of calls from like even black dudes that are coming in and
yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, they're putting it two
No,
cents, right?
it's a good thing because you're getting different people's perspective. Because too many times we're in a bubble and we think everybody thinks like us. Did you pass out on me, bro? I think that was too much knowledge from, bro. I think they put
on the line.
Are you still there?
Yeah, sure, I'm still here.
Let me wake you up. Come on, let's go. We're waiting on you.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, make your point, bro. You got 20 seconds.
Thank you, Cholo. It's a great thing that you're giving this community a platform because I'll be honest with you. When it comes to our issues are our issues. When somebody wants to talk about their issues, they cut people like us off on their issues, on their platforms. So I praise you for giving the black community a voice when, first of all, they shouldn't even have a voice in this, to be honest with you, because they really don't know what's going on in our community right now. So it's different than what they are going through.
Well, that's
it's not the same thing. No, it's not the same thing.
You gotta jump in there
the black community is praising that we are getting deported. They're saying we are non-deportable.
Hey, Chris, are you praising this shit, Chris?
No, not everyone.
But that's the problem.
Yeah,
when we look
the black community is saying we are not deportable. Non-deportable is what they're calling themselves.
Oh yeah, well, because we were born here. So that's.
So are we.
See?
The majority of us are born here.
Chris is
He's
exposing Chris over here.
Hey,
That's not
half
the
white.
same.
You know that, right?
No, I'm not. And two,
Chris is half white.
no, I'm not.
Come on,
for
dude.
one, and
His
two,
light skin is. No, come on, dude. You can't choose an African dude.
Don't get Chris pissed off, bro.
One of Chris's parents is white.
all right, so
You gotta do that to this guy.
sorry, guy. I'm behind the controls here. But I was going to say, we don't have a majority of our population. When we talk about black people in America that have immigrated from Mexico, we're still, majority of us are still people that were born here that came from slavery.
Yeah, from generations of living here. You know,
Exactly.
and that's why, see, when a lot of them will not know the struggle of that, and that's why with the platform, I enjoy having African Americans come in here and listen to it so they can kind of get a feel of why we feel the way we do. We're having this communication. But when somebody like Downey just says, you guys shouldn't even be in here, it's like, bro, we need all the help we can. Downey, you there, sir?
Hey,
You got 10 seconds, fool.
They say the same thing about us. We've been here longer than they have.
It's not a
You know
competition.
that.
It's not a
Cholo,
competition,
you
bro.
know that.
It's not a competition. To me, if a black
know
brother
it's
wants
not a
to help us out,
competition.
bro, I'm down. And you know what?
If they're playing the game, they gotta play the same game.
I hope the
And we're
Cubans take
playing
over
the same
Downey, bro.
game.
I hope the Cubans take over Downey, bro. Lo
We're gonna go,
cubano.
hey.
Lo cubano.
They can't. They can't. They don't have the money for it.
Lo cubano.
They don't have the
coño.
money for it. That's it.
All right, brother.
They got the money for it.
Man,
Come it down, you motherfucker.
Lo cubano, coño. Oh yeah, hey, bro. We got our regulars, and God bless them, bro, because they do call in, they do tap in with us. As a matter of fact, I also wanted to give a shout out. Somebody gave us a Venmo one. Jose de Jesus Garcia, appreciate you, my man. Go ahead, let's get this, Chris. Hotline. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Gill. How you guys doing today?
We're doing very well. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Abel from Bell. How you doing?
Oh, Abel from Bell. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, great guest you have there. Sometimes it's nice to hear everybody's perspective, and
Absolutely.
it's always important to respect everybody's opinion. I completely understand.
Absolutely.
But here it comes.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
tell you all the time.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
That's what
I
you did, bro.
No,
But it's
I'm
a solo,
just with the guy from Downey, buddy. I'm just down the street from the guy from Downey.
Then with Jeep,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we have different points on here, but now that you have this your guest there, much respected, and on the situations that he talked, I think that we all went a little bit different when Trompitas came into the scene, because I mean we were kind of tired of it, and like you said, okay, now that we've done whatever we did, we voted, we went this way, and now what? Where do we go? Where do we stand? How do we do? Because a lot of us are confused because we are in our infancy here. Even though they say that the book has been written already, and that all we need to do is follow what the African American community did,
The playbook.
or yeah, that playbook correctly. Even though they say we should follow some of that playbook, or protest a little bit more, or vote, yeah, but we don't have proper leaders out there. I mean, even if we look at our representatives in Congress and we look at our representatives around our community, do they really have our issues out there? Do they even have our best interests? Because I see now our politicians, they're doing all this, they're doing like their political tour. Look at where
They're grandstanding.
Yeah, look at where Gavin Newsom is at. And now look at this whole thing that happened, this whole big theater that happened up in MacArthur Park. I mean, the reality is, if they really want to go raid that, why did they go like about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock when everything's happening?
It was a test. I think what it was. They were running tests for doing big raids like that, big operations.
Well, and the one thing that I'll say, Bell, is that, I know it's easy to poke holes at whatever efforts that try to go on through whoever it is. It might be trying to lead or starting, or that has the idea, right? So it's one thing that I always tell, like a lot of our participants in our program, is I know all the reasons why we can't and all the reasons why we haven't. Now let's start talking about all the reasons we can and all the reasons we're going to, and that's something that, again, I think that's the whole point of this whole message, this whole podcast today, is we get it. There's 1,000,001 reasons why we're where we're at, and to again, it's one of the things we always talk about, the lack of leadership. But let's start coming up with some good ideas and say, okay, we know that this, and we agree. And again, the list is long, but let's start saying this is what we are going to do. So tell us something that we are going to actually do, not all the reasons why we're not going to be able to do it.
Absolutely. So why don't we take some? I mean, I don't know. We can now. I mean, at least for me, I could only do what I could only do. Like I said, when Gill knows the story of what happened here. A couple of days before that, I had called them that something had impacted me. The next thing I know, it's happening in my neighborhood, and we actually had to go out there. And luckily, our mayor from here and our police force was there, and all the people that we know actually came and supported. Even though things got a little bit out of hand, I completely understand that sometimes violence is not the right way to go. But honestly, if we wouldn't have done that, because nobody got taken. The people that got picked up from the car wash got dropped off, bro. They were not good there. They didn't take anybody.
Wasn't it in Bell where the guy that got his door blown off there? We had the fender bender with the ICE agent.
No,
all of that, bro.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Bell.
I mean, I can't really rat out exactly what happened because there's a lot of stuff that did not go into. Allegedly, correctly, allegedly. I cannot put out stuff there that did not make it into TikTok and all of that. Thank God that none of that stuff, was out there. But if we wouldn't have done, like I said, done what we had to do at that point, they didn't take anybody, Gill. They didn't put anybody out there. I'm not saying that violence is the right thing.
No, but that was a great thing. They didn't take anybody.
I'm just saying that, okay, now that we're here, because we all tried at least I've tried leaving the phone calls to my congressman. I did it. I tried going through Mayor Fast and leaving my phone call out there. And if we go in that route and try to do more of the peaceful stuff, let's see how that goes. But we're looking at it straight ahead. I'm looking at your TV.
Yeah.
How that is, and how they turn the narrative. They said that was a pot farm. Does it really look like a pot farm out there?
Well, they do have big ones, but regardless if it's a pot farm, bro, all of a sudden you guys are going after cannabis over here in California? No, they're going after the workers, bro. And
exactly.
To me, it's, you gotta hit him in the pocketbook. You gotta hit him in the pocketbook.
That's my point, Gill. That's what I'm trying to say. Because when they do, like Gavin Newsom right now, he's trying to do this whole political thing, and I mean, we all know
what Newsom is right now.
I told you last. You know, I know where that. We all know where we stand with him, and we all know what the mayor Bass did. Like with that whole, you think she did not know that they were trying out this whole thing at 10 o'clock in the morning at MacArthur Park?
Yeah, but I think you're going back down that same rabbit hole that we were just saying. Like again, like so you like, and I'm not, you know,
pick on him, bro. Pick on him.
No, it's just like you bring us down in the sense where it's like I get it. So forget Governor Newsom, forget Mayor Bass.
So where do we go from
what
here?
What are we doing? Yeah, you keep bringing it. You keep going back to everything that's wrong. Like we get it. You know, again, so we concede everything that's wrong. Everything you come up with is wrong. So now what? You know, and when you say like, yeah, we're doing things, we got the phone calls, we got the letters, the emails.
Hey, Bell, would you be willing to not go to work for 3 days?
Hey, brother, if that's what, forget about not going to work, bro. I'm on a different stage with you. Like I said, when things start affecting, we all can say, hey, you know, this is this and that. But when they start hitting your neighborhood and they start taking your people and they start taking your things, man, I was on the opposite side completely. You know that?
Yes.
I was like, man, I don't care, bro. I'm out here. I'm out here. It doesn't affect me. That's a whole different scope that I was in until it actually affected me.
Right. And I think that's what happened
so now
in California.
I'm not at that point anymore.
Right.
I'm not at that point where we can say, you know, everything's going to be kumbaya. No, if it takes for us not to go to work for 2, 3, 4, I mean, how many days that African Americans didn't go to work?
Yeah, they boycotted all kinds of stuff. That's what you got to do. You got to hurt them in the pocketbook.
I mean,
bro.
all of that stuff. I mean, and this is going to be a trickle down effect because all those people that they're taking, they pay rent. Now, what's going to happen with all those buildings that they're not paying rent on? Are we have to go bail them out too?
Right. Do that again. That's exactly
what happened to all the businesses, all the taqueros that were out on the street that they're no longer there? What happened to them?
Yeah, and what I saw today, like this is my second day going to Home Depot. Dude, there's not that many people there. And then I went to the Costco and I see one person getting all kind of food and stuff. I'm like, damn, you know what? The fruit's not gonna sell as much. The meat's not gonna sell as much. Like all the product, it's gonna definitely start hurting like California financially, but it's gonna be eventually around the country. But that's what needs to happen.
The price of food is gonna go up.
The price of food's gonna go up.
I mean, I understand. So like I said, I mean, we're all confused and we all don't know what to do.
Right.
I completely understand what he says. Okay,
you got 10 seconds.
Bad points. What do we do? Where do we go? What, the boycott of not going to work, is that really gonna? Yes, we're gonna paralyze it.
Chris, talk to us. What do you think?
Yeah. This is America. Trump is a businessman. You gotta hit them in the pocketbook
for sure.
You have to. There's no other
Bill,
way.
Brother,
I appreciate you in the passion, my man.
Hey, no problem, Gill. You guys have a great day, and it's always good to hear other people's perspectives, and we're just putting stuff on the table.
That's right. Thank you. All right, we'll take one more phone call, man. One more phone call. Make it good. And I'm going to give you about 3 seconds because Chris is on the clock. Chris is like, my 2 hours are almost up, bro. Like, Chris is the man over here. Somebody's got to be the bad guy, Chris. I never said that. Hey, we should have a little thing. You know, I'm going to order one, a little 2-minute one. And if you're still doing good, you get an extra 2 minutes. And after that, like, hey, bro, this is dragging, bro. You got about 10, 15 seconds. Let's get this bad boy going. Okay, we got one last one. Let's go, Chris.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, here we go. I can only imagine. Hotline. Oh, that could only mean one thing, Chris. Who's this, Chris?
Hi.
Hi, Mike.
Chris, what's up?
Hey.
What's up, Alabama?
Hey, man. Hey,
don't come over here eating, fool. I already hear you got some fucking Taco Bell. Hey, Mike. No, don't come here eating, fool. Put the food down for 30 seconds.
Finally, you have a guest that looks like comes from a good family at the show, man. You know what I'm saying?
Looks are deceiving, bro. He's a dirtbag just like me. We come from the same school, bro. Looks are deceiving, bro. Don't worry. Bruno's a straight dirtbag, bro.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So,
nah. What's going on, Alabama?
Well, hey, what's happening now in LA? I'm on vacation, man, and I see like nothing but chaos happening. What's going on, man?
That's the 805, bro. That's the 805. That is Camarillo. That's real close to Los Angeles. As soon as you go over that hump and come down the ocean, they went and raided a pot farming plant, and you just saw a whole line of illegals. And I got to assume most of them are illegals because they went and got them. And I'm sure some of them have legal status. They're just started deporting them or started grabbing them, and the community came out and put a stop to it so far.
Well, let me ask you this: when is this going to stop? Like, how many months?
That's his phone, bro. He's on a Bluetooth or something. Because all of a sudden you went to only one ear over here somewhere.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit better. When is this going to stop?
Yeah, I'm in Puerto Rico, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. From Puerto Rico. Bama, Puerto Rico. Watch out, ladies. Okay, so answer that one for us, Bruno.
It's not. I mean, again, they just allocated $170 billion to this, so it's not going to stop anytime soon. And I think it's going to change. It's going to morph into something a lot worse. I think eventually they are going to run out of the quote-unquote illegal immigrants, but I think there's going to be a lot of people that catch strays and get caught up in these type of nets when they're going after different quote-unquote, again, immigration raids. Even like right now, when you're looking at some of these things and you're hearing about protesters getting arrested or activists getting arrested, people trying to document getting arrested. I think if you're anti this administration, we want to start seeing a lot more cases based off that and people that are fighting for that. It's just going to get a lot deeper. If you look up stuff like moral panic, if you look up stuff like different initiatives that they've used for mass incarceration, they all tend to have follow the same what we were telling Gill. It's like they keep playing the same eight of spades or the seven of spades over and over again, and we keep falling for it. So just look at the things like the war on drugs, the super predator, go way back to even like all the black issues that they had early on, like post Civil War, what they did to populate the prisons. I think this is a much bigger play. So when you allocate $170 billion to something and you make it the most highly funded enforcement entity in the country, you can't believe that it's just about the Venezuelans or the MS and the 18s. There's not enough of that demographic to go after. Eventually, it's going to turn into something way worse, and that's what we're here for, to try to get people to understand that, to see what that looks like, what it could possibly look like, and most importantly, how do we prepare for it? And how do we protect our people?
What can we do to help like this?
Well, like I said, I think that when it comes down to it, and there's a labor place out in Central California, they're getting ready to call for a major boycott, like not go to work. And I think there's like 2 days. I'm all for it when that happens, and I think this will probably be the spark that makes that go nationwide. Hopefully, at least California wide. And we need to whenever there's an actual boycott, a real one. You can't right now. You have too many splinter groups. You got Home Depot. You got no, that's not gonna, even the Dodger one. The Dodger one just like clowning people because they want to talk all kind of crap about other people who vote a certain way, but they'll still support them. But I think what it needs to do is, on a local basis, just ask somebody, bro. Like, I've asked plenty of people, hey, bro, you need me to go to the market for you? Even some, it's sad, bro. I've gotten some stuff for them in case they get arrested. That way I can go to Mexico and give it to them, like some of their papers. And just on a local basis, if you know anybody who's illegal and all that, hey, dude, do you need me to, hold some stuff for you in case you get arrested? Do you need me to have a phone numbers in case you do? That way you're, because a lot of times you got people over here that really don't have too many people. That's on a local level, and on a national level, or even bigger when it goes like to a boycott, because this is what's going to lead to it. It's going to lead to one way somehow a boycott. We need to get involved, and every community should be out there delivering food to people who can't come out, because it's coming to a point where either you're gonna hide, bro, or they're gonna deport you. That's what it is right now.
And Bam, I think the conversation I had with Gill this week, when we brought up the idea of starting to help people either remove tattoos, if it's helping people with records. So if you go before a judge, even though they will be able to see something, it does make a difference when your record is quote unquote, expunged. If you've never been convicted of something, it's a lot harder for them to, if not deport you, say you're an American citizen, to give you time here. When you're dealing with a sentencing, you need every tool you have in your tool bag. So that's what we're here to do, to start figuring out, okay, what's the playbook they use, again, back to El Salvador, looking, oh, that's a tattoo, that looks like a gang tattoo, you got life, you're this, you're that. When you talk about the guys that we've already seen, some innocent kids, the gay hairdresser dude that got deported to CCOT, and you see him crying on 60 Minutes. The guy just had a tattoo for his parents. I think it was like an autism or something. He had an autism tattoo and something for his parents. And now he's in CCOT, life without. So if we could help people with certain things like that, things that if it's a crown, they turn around and say, you're a land king. If you got something that's with the 3 or something, they're like, oh, you're a sureño, whatever the case might be. Like, these are the type of things we have to look like big picture. And I think somebody mentioned in the chat, think of Palestine, think of Gaza, think of stuff like that. Like, when you start looking at things like on a broader viewpoint, and it's not just, again, about just the fields, just downtown, just MacArthur Park, just Times Square, whatever the case might be. When you look at things on a bigger picture, I think it's the little things that are going to matter the day that you go to court. Yeah. The day that one of us ends up in court trying to explain, say, no, my life has changed. No, this is what I have. You need enough on your side to be able to combat whatever sentence and enhancement or whatever that you're going to try to throw at you.
American Cholo.
What's up, Bama?
You're gonna make your first alien from American Cholo tattoo removal. I'll tell you that.
No, we're gonna remove them, and then we're gonna make $500,000 giving them back, because the tattoos we do not for free, bro. Only the removal, bro. But yeah, so this now that I got you on the phone, this month, we're doing that. We're doing the free tattoo removal in house. We're doing the expungements also for LA County in house, and also on August 8th we'll be doing the backpack giveaway on Tierra Street Park in North Hollywood, in my neighborhood. In our neighborhood, so that's what we at least are giving back to our community, bro. So we're not just here talking and trying to give other ideas. We're also on the ground trying to help people out one way or another.
Hey, American Cholo, you help. I admire you. Really do something for people, and I don't want to roast anybody today.
That's right, man. It's a somber day, dude, for sure. Hey, but either that, Chris, either way is telling me time's up, Bama. Chris is back there. Say hi to Chris real quick, Bama.
He didn't even get hung up on
Chris,
today. What's going on?
Hey, Chris, what's up? You look like you're about to play Peaches and Cream right now, man.
Hey, man, I keep it smooth, Bam. I keep it smooth over here.
That's right.
He sweat. Pony.
Hey,
Bama. And all that.
Bama, you got to go on Pandora if you got Pandora, fool. Chris J. Hudson, bro. That's his. I didn't know. But he told me yesterday. I said, "Fool, you on Pandora?" I went today and I put it on. You know what, dude? That was smooth, bro. That was smooth. Chris J. Hudson on Pandora.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Get you some R&B in your life.
Appreciate the call, Bama.
Hey, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next week, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, brother. Appreciate it, man. Enjoy the vacation, boy.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, so this was a very informative. It's a great podcast. You get all kind of people's different reactions. We're out of here. We get. Sorry, Tony. We told you it was the last one, brother. Don't worry, Tony can call me on the way home, bro. He's like, fuck, he does. He calls me on the way home. So this was informative, dude. This was something we need to do. We need to back our people up, and sometimes you hear some stuff that you may not agree with, or like the caller from Chicago, but that's what the other side thinks, bro, and you need to respect it. You don't need to like it or agree with it, but you also need to respect it and understand, that not everybody's in the same state of mind as we may be, man. But we definitely need to come together, get over all the old shit, and start doing something for our people. What you got?
No, I mean, I think that just to continue these type of dialogues and continue, we're gonna get some good ideas. We're gonna get some good stuff going. But I think it's important to keep the conversation going.
Absolutely.
To your point, I think we haven't always agreed, but it's a beautiful thing to be able to work together on some things and to just meet in the middle on different things. And I think we both learn from each other, so I think it's healthy.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the whole grand scheme of the podcast, bro, for us to have a platform to speak about our issues, bro, because if we don't speak about them, nobody else is, and if they do, they speak about them from a perspective that they don't really know, where we stand, man. And here on the American Cholo podcast, man, we stand with the people, homie. With that,